Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is July the 17th. Well, July the 13th. And the show is definitely coming out a bit later today than it is, than it has been. Didn't do a show yesterday and got smoked on Saturday. I liked the Phoenix Mercury on Saturday, plus the 10.5. Man, they never showed up. It's actually... You know what? Let's not get into it. But I thought it was a really good play. The Aces decided to take yesterday off, and the Mercury decided to take Saturday off. So both teams got blew out. I was on the wrong side of one, did not bet the game yesterday. That was all I liked. Like, it was the only play that I liked. Yesterday, I liked Sky. They got the job done for a game, and took a over at halftime between the Liberty and the Tempo, when the total had come back down a little bit. So 2-0 day yesterday, but I got smoked on Saturday, and that was the last thing I left you guys with. Hopefully you guys have found some ways to make some money. Let's jump into it for today, man. Let's get into it for today. It's only 2 games on the board. We'll start off with Jackson. AS Sports Betting Tools linked in the description of the video. Ask Jackson for the highest value opportunity for game totals, over unders. I wanted to know if it could highlight the matchups with the largest discrepancies between the current sportsbook lines and projected outputs based on the team pace, possessions per game, offensive and defensive efficiency ratings over the last 5 games, and head-to-head historical trends, specifically factoring in rest advantage, travel schedules, and missing key rim protectors or high-volume shooters. Provide the data, pace projections, and analytical reasoning for each over-under recommendation. So the first one comes in with the Los Angeles Sparks and Atlanta Dream under 181.5. It says this is the most incorrectly priced total on the board. The market has set this as high as 181, likely influenced by the Sparks reaching triple digits in their last 2 games. However, the statistical profile of these 2 teams combined with catastrophic injury news points towards a lower scoring grind. The Sparks offense has completely collapsed without their primary engine, and now they face an Atlanta defense that has shown significant improvements, allowing just 78 points per game over their last 5 games. That is not correct. So I'm actually not even gonna read the rest of this because that is not correct. Cameron Brink and Kelsey Plum will not play, which is what it says in the next paragraph. But they're allowing way more than 78 points per game over their last 5 games. That's not accurate there. Jackson also likes the under between the Mercury and the Lynx, which I kind of like that one. Not going to read it on the show, but I do kind of think that game goes under. Let's jump into it for today, though. Linked in the description. You guys can always find Jackson. So first game up, no graphics for today. First game up, though, we have is the one that Jackson was just talking about, and that is the see if I can find my green. That is the Sparks and the Dream. So last night, I wrote down 7.5 in my notes. And the total opened as low as 177.5. It's all the way up as high now as to 176.5 on one book as well. All the way up as high as 182.5 on a couple books. It's come back down just a tad bit. 181.5 looks like is the where we are now. As far as injury report goes, it is significant because Angel Reese missed the last game. She's listed as questionable for this one. Bree Jones is also listed as game time decision. She has not played all season. And again, like I mentioned, Kelsey Plum and Cameron Brink are both listed as out. So on the Spark side of things, they are coming off back-to-back wins. They beat Indiana, then beat Chicago at home. So first game after a 3-game homestand for them on the East Coast. They do have a 1-day rest advantage as well, and they have played in 7 of their last 8 over the total. On the Atlanta side of things, they've been really bad, man. I keep thinking that Atlanta is going to get the job, going to turn it around. They just if they score, they can't get stops. If they get stops, they can't score. They can't find a way to cover a game. 8 straight non-covers now. They've only won one of their last, I think, 7 games. And that was against Seattle. They didn't cover that spread either. But it is the last game before game homestand for them before they play in Toronto. I think it's on Thursday. So is it a bounce back spot? In my opinion, no. I think Atlanta will continue to struggle. Like if Angel Reese plays, of course, they're a little bit better. And I would want to see if she's going to play before I play the game because she means so much, even on the offensive side of things now. When you have players that are struggling to score the basketball the way that the way that Atlanta is struggling to score right now, outside of Ryan Howard, like is you kind of need all hands on decks on deck. I was looking through this game from a like just a statistical standpoint. In last 5 games, both of these teams are bottom half of the league in defensive rating. They're also top 5 in pace. So I think that the play is just the over. You look at some of this, some of the stuff that the Sparks have been doing. Their last game got to 194 points against. I'm sorry, for the Sparks, got to 189 points against the Chicago Sky. Then they got to 108 against the Indiana Fever. The low scoring game was against Seattle. But again, Atlanta's not playing really good defense right now. And Atlanta is also playing really, really fast. The Sparks have really just played a bunch of overs. They have played in 7 of their last 9 have actually gone over the number. I think 8 of their last 10 have actually gone over the number. So I think for the Sparks, you just continue to take overs, man. Like I think either they're going to score a bunch of points and they're going to give up a bunch of points. Like I think both could happen. And I think Atlanta is capable of scoring in this game as well, even though their offense has been pretty putrid. This Sparks team has given up, 87 or more in 8 of their last 9, 7 of the last 9 games. And I think Atlanta will get right in this spot. So I like over if I'm betting this game. Number has moved a little bit, but over would be my recommendation. From a player prop perspective, couple of things stand out. Ryan Howard, in my opinion, she got to get busy. But Jordan Canada also got to get busy in this game. She used to play for the Sparks team. What was that, like 3 years ago now, I think it is. So Jordan Canada, her double-double, I snagged it last night at 320 on FanDuel. It was 319 earlier this morning on DraftKings, but it had come all the way down on FanDuel. She's just in a really, really good matchup. I talked about her assist prop in that last game against Portland, a really, really terrible defense that gives up a ton of assists, and now she gets the team that allows the most assists. And the other thing about this Atlanta Dream defense is, this Sparks defense, they give up a ton of stuff in the paint, which is where Jordan Canada scores a lot of her points at this season. So you can see her points and assists that listed at 20 and a half. Against this type of defense, she should be able to go crazy. Her double-double, I think she's only had 3 this season when I was looking into it, but none of that stuff matters in my opinion. If you look at her assists, which I think she'll get there with her points too, but if you look at it, you look at her assists, her assist was listed at 7.5 in that last game. She finished with 12. Her potentials have just been through the roof. I mentioned, I think it was 16 or more in 4 straight games. Now that would be 5 straight games. So I think the assists will be there for Jordan Canada in this one. And 8.5 assists, I think, is also really good money as well. You still can get it at plus money right now. I think she gets the 9 assists in this game as well. It's a little high, but it's high for a reason. So I like the Jordan Canada assist look. I like her double-double at plus 320 as well. A little sprinkle on that. Those would be my top plays. And I think this game goes over the total as well. All right, next game and last game. You have to like if y'all can, subscribe if you guys have not. Next game and last game is the Phoenix Mercury and the Minnesota Lynx. So line in this one, I think open 11.5. It went all the way up as high as 13. And now it's looked like it's come back down a little bit to 12.5. And the total only gone up. I think this open 169.5, 168.5, and this up kind of like what an opener is. You can get as high as 170.5. I think the number's kind of spot on. Like I think the spread is kind of spot on. Minnesota is light years better than Phoenix, but does Minnesota necessarily care about this win? Phoenix, I can't bet on just because I watched them absolutely not show up in that last game. And if you don't show up in that game, I'm not sure if I can trust you to show up in this one either. And the reason why I say that is because, yes, they lost by 48 to Las Vegas in their last game, but before that, you lost to Indiana at home and you lost to Chicago at home as well. So I thought, with the rest advantage, with not liking Vegas, that you would show up in that game. But I think the Phoenix Mercury might just be done. Like I don't know if they're gonna prosper. 8-16. I listened to Nate Tibbetts after the post game, so he learned a lot about his team after in today's game. I think the Minnesota Lynx are head and shoulders better than this team, but I do think that the spread is about where it should be. 13 is about how many points the Minnesota Lynx are better than the Phoenix Mercury by. So I don't think I would touch the spread. Minnesota did blow this team out the last time that they played. They beat them 111-77. The Minnesota Lynx, of course, coming off a big emotional game against the New York Liberty, didn't have to travel at all. That was a revenge game for them as well, but they also haven't covered, a game in quite a while. They haven't covered since the 28th of June. So it's been about half a month, 0-4 ATS in their last 4 games. And typically they land, only one game they were landing this big of a number. And that was against Connecticut, 12.5. And they lost that game outright. So not that they have a look ahead spot because they got the Sparks coming up on Wednesday and they'll be at home for that game as well. So no travel up next. But to me, it kind of feels about where it should be. The Mercury, the Mercury haven't been able to play much defense as of late. What have they've given up 92 and 106 in their last 2 games, before only allowing 77 but scoring 66. And that's why I kind of lean under. I think Minnesota could win this game with just their defense and not necessarily having to score. I kind of think about it in a way like if you think about what Phoenix, how Phoenix got embarrassed, they gave up 106 points in that last game. Now, if you go back through their last 10 games, they've given up 100 points two other times. They gave up 111 to the Sparks. They came back and gave up just 86 to the Aces. And that wasn't last game, of course. And then they gave up 109 to the Indiana Fever. And then they held Toronto to just 80. So I think that the defense can win the game, I would say, I guess I kind of keep them within the number. But I think you'll definitely get it, especially after getting embarrassed in that way. I think it's a little bit more of a defensive game. So under 170.5 would be my recommendation in this game. Didn't really think too deeply into it as far as player props go. I think who is it? Olivia Miles, like her assist is at 5.5 and it's like minus 150. She could potentially get 7 in this game. Jackie Young did whatever she wanted to in that last game. But again, you expect the, Phoenix Mercury, if they have even a resemblance of life, to come out and play with some intensity on the defensive end. So I'm not going to touch any player props in this game because I do think that this is going to be a tricky one. As far as recap goes, and again, hit the like if you can, subscribe if you guys is not. If I'm betting that first game, I want to know if Angel Reese is going to play, but there's no way you can really lay points with Atlanta right now. I just don't see it, and that's with as bad as the Sparks have been, which they haven't been good. And then this Phoenix and Minnesota game, if I'm betting under 170.5, which is currently available on DraftKings, maybe even a first half under in that game as well. Just thinking that Phoenix comes out, plays some pretty good defense, and that Minnesota can match it. And I know that they can lock up this Phoenix offense, which has not been great at all by any stretch of the imagination. Real quick, if I go look at the season numbers, Mercury first half, that's road dog 7-4 to the under, and the Lynx home favorite 4-4 to the over under. Both teams are a little bit more under teams, full game and first half, and that's the way I think we see first half under in that game. Not sure if I'll touch it, but let's see. First half total points under 87.5. It looks like you can get on FanDuel and DraftKings right now. Everybody else got some 86.5. So those will be my thought processes on the games for today, man. Resources all linked in the description. Check them out. Jackson, Out Loud, Moneyballer, Eyes Jam. That'll be it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll catch you guys then. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the evening. Enjoy the games.